Niharica Raizada, thank you so much for joining me on this show, How I Made It.
Thank you so much, Vicky. It is an absolute pleasure to see your face, even though it's through the Zoom.
Happy with the role, happy with the role in terms of quantity, in terms of quality. Of course, you must be very happy with the collections, just running away as we speak. And the film has hit the ground running. And there was a bit of, skepticism that there was a bit of apprehension that क्या होगा कोविड के बाद लोग आएंगे नहीं आएंगे, but देखो सब जा रहे हैं. So coming to your role, I wanted to ask you, happy because you were complaining at the time of Masan and Total Dhamal that I got a very short role, I'm not seen.
Yeah, I mean it's much bigger than all of those roles put together. So of course the screen time has increased and the dialogues have increased, and so I think it's just an upward journey from here. I just have to keep praying that eventually, Vicky, I'll get to lead. I think I'm like scratching the surface every time. So eventually, because that's what I really want, and I would love to be able to shoulder a project, and it is a dream of mine. I don't know, like I keep saying, I don't know if it'll happen in this lifetime, but it would be amazing if it did.
So how did Sooryavanshi happen? कहाँ थे उस वक्त आप जब ये ऑफर आया और किसने फोन किया?
So I had done an ad with Ranbir Kapoor quite a long time back with a really, really great set of people, Gary Grewal and Robbie Grewal, production house Red Eyes Productions. And the casting director of that film called me and said that I don't know why, but I really feel that you would be apt for this particular character. But at that time, the character offered to me was that, again, of a beautiful girl or hot girl or whatever. And I had other plans in my head. I said, if I'm going for an audition for a Rohit Shetty film, I've been a big fan of Rohit Shetty films and I'm a big fan of Singham. So I told myself, कि चलो देखो वो लोग आपको भले ही किसी भी रोल के लिए बुला रहे हो, आप अपनी तैयारी अपने हिसाब से करके जाइए. And I had decided that I would wear like a police outfit and I would try to get a police officer's role. I went there. I went for the audition, dressed up as a police officer. ये सोच के कि मुझे देख के शायद वो लोग बोले हाँ आपको तो हम तुरंत ले लेंगे ना. But again, when I was dressed up as a police officer, they said, but Niharica, wouldn't you like to do the girl's role? Like there's a girl in this film and she's got some good like scenes, few scenes, but good scenes. I said, no, I want to play a cop. They said, but there are no dialogues for that cop. It's a very small role and all that. I said, no problems. I would like to still play that role. And I think forced myself to make them see me as the cop. And then I got a call back, and I went to the office, Rohit Shetty's office in Andheri, and I did another look test. And slowly my role kind of got a little bit more prominence, a little bit more dialogues were added to it. I didn't get action because I think Rohit Shetty is still contemplating if he's ever going to actually give that much action to female actors as compared to what he does for male actors. But I definitely got a foot in the door, and that's what I wanted. So I'm very happy about that.
So you said that you didn't want to play that other girl. Tell me, can I ask you upfront that you wanted to break this image which you have, that hot girl, that glamorous girl, ये आपको तोड़ना है?
Maybe, Vicky, yes. I was pretty fed up of being the sexy siren and this kind of woman who's got this certain kind of body shape and sort of voluptuous kind of a look, and that kind of look gets sort of exploited on screen or exploited in a media format all the time. And I'm a sensible, hardworking, honest, kind of girl, and I've got this certain kind of head on my shoulder, and I wish to be able to also explore that kind of thing. So yes, maybe you're right. Maybe I made a very conscious decision कि यार ऐसा नहीं करना. Like itni baar I've worn those nice outfits. I've done all those nice steamy, sexy kind of things, and maybe I'm waiting for that opportunity where I would be portrayed. I feel I haven't been portrayed yet as supposedly how I would like to see myself in a sexy avatar. So I still don't feel that I've been portrayed in that way. So I said, okay, this time, forget the exposure, forget the sexiness, forget everything, forget even the whole fact that there's a certain feminine character to you. Just go for the role, go for the character. And I would love to be playing for politicians, lawyers, doctors, raw agents of all kinds, investigative officers. I like it. I mean, I think it requires a certain kind of look. And hopefully I got into that mold, like, I hope.
ये ultra glamorous image आया कहाँ से? शुरू कहाँ से हो?
Maybe my photos, or maybe I did a film called Warrior Savitri, which I played the lead, and there was a particular song in that which I did with Rajat Parmecha. It was filmed in a certain way, maybe from those kind of past works that I've done.
From your photos on social media, then partially you are to be blamed also.
I am, yes, responsible for that, but then I'm not a market non-reader. I read the market. I like to sensationalize. I like to titillate. I like to create some sort of buzz, and I think that beauty and sexiness definitely gets viral quicker. So I think that to a certain extent, being in the glamour industry, glamour goes hand to hand with boys and girls both, and it's just how you depict it. But like I said, I still don't feel that the level that, so I would like to be seen as beautiful, glamorous, or elegant, sexy, which I still feel has not been done with me. And I haven't found that maker or that production house who would be able to tap into hopefully what I do possess, which I feel I possess. So yeah, I mean, I'm still experimenting, and yeah, let's hope things.
So is there going to be some afterthought on the pictures which you are going to hereafter put on social media? Now, on one hand, you are saying that you want to be glamorous, but on one hand, you also got fed up to an extent of maybe being overtly projected as overtly sexy.
Right.
So how is it going to be on social media? What's the plan?
I think to keep a balance. I think what I want the most is to be able to be taken seriously as an actor. And the actor's job is to get into the character and get into the role that they have been given, whatever that may be. I hope that in my Instagram going forward, I am able to portray not Niharica, but the characters given to me. And hopefully I'll get enough characters which are versatile enough so that going forward, my Instagram should be full of what Niharica can do for the screen world. Like, I also feel that this Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, social media platform is a world, right? So in that world, the real Niharica, I mean, she's very ghochu, right? Like, she wears glasses and she's got messed up hair and she has doctor's handwriting, and she's a real nerd, and she doesn't wear any makeup, doesn't care about her hair. Like, that's the real me. But I don't put that up so much. For example, that's not the person that gets put up, right? For example, the glamorous Niharica who knows that she's in the industry and she wants to become this Bollywood heroine and she has this idea of herself, that's another Niharica, right? I don't want to put that out either. But like I said, whilst I go forward in my career, I want my Instagram to reflect, hopefully, the characters that I get to play in film industry. I was telling this to somebody the other day also. To play glamorous also is getting into a role, right? It's not playing yourself. Like, hopefully, I would like to believe that all these girls who play these quintessential glamorous girls, they're getting into that thing, just not because they look that way or just because they are like that in real life. I don't think anybody is constantly as like picture perfect as they are supposed to be depicted. So you are still getting into that kind of mold, right? So I want to be able to play a glamorous girl once, twice, but then I also want to be able to play something serious. And I think my Instagram should reflect that balance.
Fine. So you're sending out a clear message to the filmmakers here that I will do glamorous roles. I will wear glamorous outfits, but I want roles of substance also.
Absolutely. I do. I really, absolutely. Because what value does one have if one cannot perform in various roles? I'm not saying one can't perform in glamorous roles. I mean, you look at, I don't know if you just saw the James Bond film or whatever, but Ana de Armas is looking beautiful and she's doing great action. I mean, she's looking killer. She's come into the frame for 15 minutes. She's wearing beautiful. Most James Bond heroines are like that, right? They are very beautiful and they nibhao their role with class. So, you know, that's something that I want to reach, or I want to do. Like, they should look smoking hot, but they should be excellent actors. So that's the dream, you know, that's actually the dream.
Your journey has been slow so far, and you said it in not so many words initially, that it took you some time to get this role of Sooryavanshi, and जो भी आपको roles मिले थे काफी हद तक छोटे थे और आप notice भी नहीं हुए कुछ movies में. Actually, अगर if we speak candidly, why has the journey been tough with you?
Oh, I mean, from my side, I don't.
It was going, you know, not a. Why was it not going according to what you wanted?
It's the last top 3, right? It's the last top 3. And now I've been in the industry for quite a few years. So maybe it's the fact that I have got that experience. And if I haven't had it at the beginning, maybe I don't know going forward if I will get it the way I want it. So because experience does count in both positive and negative ways. But it's the last top 3, right? In the last sort of, you know, the last 3 that get to the top, whose audition is amazing and you really are about to get it in, right? It's the push, it's the support, and it's the say of the producer, it's the say of the director. I've never had that. Never means never. I've never had a director or a producer say, Niharica Kuli. Never. Like, it's never happened. So that's kismat. That's luck. That's you can't fight with that. Now, why that hasn't happened, I really don't know. But it is those last, I get through. I get like to the last part of the thing, but I have been replaced countless, like most people, a lot of people have been as well. I'm not saying I'm the only one, but I have been replaced countless numbers of times. I have been completely replaceable because that push and that support is required, because our film industry is a very small.
You have been signed as the lead opposite big stars, and then suddenly told after a few days you're not doing the film?
Never signed. But reaching a last part, potentially getting a role, yes, wherein something happens. I would say Total Dhamal also, for that matter. I was promised a lot more than I got delivered, and you know, it's as an actor you learn from it, but it hurts. It hurts big time, you know. So people come into your film, you don't know where, like, how that has happened. You get given a totally different narration. So yes, in the case, if I was to speak candidly with you, in the case of Total Dhamal, what I was promised, what I was told, what was happening with me at that time, and what eventually came out on screen was nothing. And that's shocking, right? To an artist who has waited a very long time, for example, for a potential to be showcased.
वो हुआ कि बाद में edit हो गया?
नहीं, वो मतलब things happen.
हुआ ही नहीं.
नहीं हुआ ही नहीं, it didn't happen. No, signed, narrated, but हुआ ही नहीं.
तो आपने प्रोड्यूसर और डायरेक्टर से बात नहीं की सेट पर कि भाई आपने तो कुछ और ही नरेट किया है, वो सीन्स तो है ही नहीं और मैं इस मूवी का अभी भी पार्ट हूँ? Didn't you send a reminder?
I am. देखो, मुझे गुस्सा आता है. I will not deny that. मुझे गुस्सा आता है और मुझे बहुत गुस्सा आया उस दिन. बहुत अपसेट हुई मैं. उस समय बहुत मेरे लिए बहुत टफ था. But abhi you cannot live in the past. You can't keep grudges. I still love that whole team. Jo bhi hai, it's okay. I think somewhere my mother says this. Akshay Kumar says this. 90% luck, 10% hard work. That 90% luck is not on my. This is a huge number, man. Vicky, that's a huge number. वो किसी के साथ होता है, कभी कभार ऐसे हो जाता है जैसे आपको समझ में नहीं आता कहाँ से हो जाता है. वो मेरे साथ कभी नहीं हुआ है। वो 90% लक तो मेरे पास है ही नहीं, तो वो 10% का जो हार्डवर्क का जो छड़ी मैं उठाई हुई हूँ ना, I am charging with that 10% of hard work.
But you haven't answered my question. Did you speak to the producer or the director? गुस्सा आया आपको?
I did. मैंने अपना गुस्सा बहुत अच्छे से बयां किया.
And then?
उनको.
And?
वो क्या बोलते? They have their own reasons to do what they do. So
how do you come out of such situation? When you go home, who is the person backing you? Because as far as I know, your parents are not very happy with the fact that you are in the entertainment industry. So when you go home, who is that person, or what is that thing with which you divert your, the trouble which you're facing, the trauma which you're undergoing?
I guess my mirror. I don't have, honestly speaking, I don't have somebody who sits by me and tells me, if not today, tomorrow, or sits by me and tells me, this is just one hiccup. For me, that hiccup is the biggest hiccup. And to traverse that, I remember when I got told that things are not going to go the way I had imagined them to be for that particular film. I came home and I must have had a conversation with myself in front of my mirror for a good 2 hours, telling myself that don't worry. What is it that you want? I want to do a lead role in a film. How are you going to get it? I'm going to try my best. And I had a conversation like that for 2 hours constantly with myself. And that was it. And eventually, if you let yourself vent it out, a mirror also is a reflection of your interiors, And yes, it would be incredible if some great friend or producer or director would be by my side, also pushing me and helping me. But I've never had that, and I don't expect it either. I don't expect it. I have no expectations of that. But I do have expectations that Niharica within Niharica is never going to let go of her dream.
Have people advised you to move on to web shows and television?
So if I had to do television, I would have done it the first year that I got here. It's my own personal decision. I personally am also not moved and motivated and excited by the scripts that television has to offer at that time. For example, web shows is a totally different ball game now. I have been offered a couple of web shows, but sometimes the sexual content in web shows does put me off. So not my cup of tea. And I haven't been offered a role yet in a web show, which I want to say that sab kuch side pe rakho, and I want to do that.
So are you saying that you won't do intimate scenes in web shows? You won't use foul language in web shows?
I don't want it to be the main reason I'm cast. So if if in a 10 episodes web series, I'm just cast for sex scenes, even though I may play the lead, then that's definitely not going to be a reason for me to say yes. If you tell me that I have a graph and there will be a point where she might have to go through this and move the story forward, yes, definitely. But not if you tell me that, oh, Niharica, there's going to be a lot of steamy scenes and a lot of sex scenes. We would like to tell you that in advance. No. That never works for me, ever. It's not part of the deal. You tell me the story, you tell me her backstory, you tell me how she moves forward, you tell me that she goes through this, and in that process, there may be some intimacy, no problems. But if you tell me that, in those 10 episodes, there are these many sex scenes, to start off a conversation with this kind of a banter just ticks me off, and it's totally not motivating. Because at the end of the day, I am still an artist, and I have the choice to be able to know what gets me wanting to do a thing and what doesn't, So I don't want to do intimate scenes. I want to do a story. I want to be a certain kind of a character, right? If that character, for example, is a prostitute, right? She still has a story. She has a story in it. However much she goes through her life, there's a story to her life that is a lot more important. The emotional backdrop of a prostitute, or even if she's if she's a sex worker, or if she, whatever, these are very extreme cases. But even if she's a girl next door and you're just using her because she's a bit flirtatious and she has many affairs, for example, but what's the story of that girl, you know? That's what's important as an actor, not the fact that, you know, she's beautiful and she pulls off roles of intimacy with so much ease. That's not important. That's just that's just a very small part in that whole journey. So
Niharica, just tell me one more thing. I wanted to ask you that what I hear from actors is that if you have an Instagram following, which is not high, then your chances of getting cast in any project are lesser. Has it happened with you?
Yes, it has happened with many of the music videos, and even in terms of the web shows that have been offered, the people will select a girl who has at least 2 million followers or at least 1 million plus followers. So it doesn't matter my body of work or even my experience as an actor also, if I can emote well or whatever. It only matters about the numbers on your Instagram. So I think that's a little unfair. That I think is truly unfair. I mean, because some of these algorithms have been boosted with fake followers and stuff. So how can you tell, right? It's not fair to be able to judge somebody's caliber and character just based on, because mine was all organic, right? If I have 280,000 followers today, which has increased, by the way, since Sooryavanshi has released, it's increased organically.
All about perception.
And then, you know,
but you're not casting the right actor. If you're going by his or her Instagram account, maybe you are compromising on the acting talent.
Maybe because I know a lot of music projects now that have taken a lot of non-actors, only based on people who have very high following, for example. They have not been able to emote. They have not been able to perform. They have not been able to dance. They have not been able to give that level of expression. But that's the risk the producer takes. He's not interested at the end of the day of how the video looks. He's only interested how viral it becomes. People today are not so worried about the content. They're more worried about their clicks. So it's a click versus content debate. Truly.
It's
truly.
It's very sad that acting is on the back seat and what is in the front is that I am an influencer. This new self-style designation that मैं influencer हूँ. बस थोड़े clicks हो गए और लोग अपने आप को influencer कहलाने लगते हैं.
I would like to say this on your interview very clearly. An actor is not an influencer, and an influencer is not an actor. An actor is different. That's why they are called actors. And you should give them that standing. Tomorrow I'll say to you, Nasruddin Shah has become an influencer. Or, I don't know, Smita Patil was a great influencer of her time. Or, I don't know, like, Madhubala was a phenomenal influencer. No, these were actors. All this is a different platform that you're showcasing your talent on. All respect to them. They're so talented. But that's not acting. That's not acting. You have to understand the role of an actor involves that whole dimensions of having the director, producer, writer, script supervisor, your whole works, having a film or a project come out of that nature. That's what an actor, but like, okay, I'm going to be very philosophical now and rhetorical, but Shakespeare said that we are on a stage and everybody's an actor, and it's become a truth now. With this social media mania, it's become a reality. Everybody has decided talent to था ही ना, बस निकालने की देरी थी, हमें बस एक पर्दा किया था, मिल गया, चाहे वो कोई भी पर्दा. So things have definitely changed. Things have changed so much.
So let me conclude this by one extending question. Has this strongly opinionated girl made up with her parents to some extent now?
I mean, parents will love their kids no matter what, Vicky. Even the ones who say they don't love their kids or they don't support them, deep down in their hearts, every parent is the first voting, like they are the support systems of their children. No matter what you say, parents can never, ever, ever not love or not support their kids in their hearts. They might get upset. They might say that she's not doing it according to our wishes. She's a lot like, I've done some academics and I could have a very strong career in academics, and my parents would potentially want me to have a stable lifestyle and not have a risky lifestyle where potentially I'm only looked at in a certain way and I'm objectified, and that does not make them potentially very happy. But parents will always love you, and parents will always have that connect with you, no matter what. Your sisters and brothers might not. Your extended family may not. But your parents, no matter what, you are a product of them. I believe this so strongly. I'm a product of both my parents, obviously. And whatever I do, I am somewhere a little bit of them. And even though they have seen life a lot more than I have, and they just want to save me from the perils and the risks that we sometimes as actors who are extreme risk takers, we put ourselves through, at the end of the day feel that I regret anything. And at the end, when your parents ask you that question, that so many years you dedicated yourself to a craft which did not give you what you wanted or did not give you that respect, how do you feel about it today? This is what we wanted to save you from, for example. But one has the right over their own life as well. And that regret will never come. I tell you, Vicky, I tell you this from the bottom of my heart, no matter what happens. And if I get somewhere, I don't get somewhere, I get my dream, I don't get my dream. This journey that I've had, I can write books and books on it. Books and books, not one, not two, several. And just the fact that I've been able to live all these different kinds of psychologies, I mean, I feel blessed. I have not been given what I wanted from the day one till today, no problems. But what I have come across, who I have met, I can write books and books, many books, and I might also. So there's always something you learn from it.
जितना मैं समझ रहा हूँ, पहले बहुत रंजिश थी, उसके बाद कॉन्वर्सेशन हुई है, उन्होंने जो सवाल उठाए हैं वो अब आपको जस्टिफाइड लग रहे हैं काफी हद तक, और समय के साथ साथ वो भी आपको समझने लगे हैं। लेकिन अभी भी थोड़े रफ एजेस वहां पर हैं।
वो तो रहेंगे। I think they want to see me married off with lots of babies.
You're extending the interview by your last answer. I'm sorry to ask you one more question. Is there any man in your life?
Please.
Are you single?
I haven't found someone yet who has caught my heart in such a way in which I can say that, I want to leave everything that I have so far worked and lived for. Not that they should, but yes, at times love can change you. That kind of love has still not happened. And I will marry for love.
But I think everyone has noticed that you took the longest time to start off that answer. With that, I must thank you. I must thank you for joining me on the show, How I Made It.
But before I do sign off, I would like to say that ye jo gaadi hai, abhi bhi chal rahi hai. And the next project that I have been signed on for is a Vidyut Jamwal project. So hopefully you will see that also in the theaters.
Thank you, Niharica. Thank you so much for this lovely interview. It was great talking to you.
Thank you so much, Vicky.